Hi everyone, I'm Corbin and this is Plant Basics. In this episode of my Anthurium FAQ series, I am going to talk to you about why your Anthurium flowers might be turning brown. So in my experience, Anthurium flowers turning brown has three possible causes. So the first one is severe drought stress. Then the second one is over fertilization, and the third one is sunburn. And I want to add on to that that sometimes the browning of the flowers can also just be natural if it's the older flowers. So if you know what I mean. So if the older flowers are turning brown, it could be a natural thing and that's fine. But if it's the younger flowers, it could be one of those three things I just mentioned. So let's talk about drought stress. Well, in the case of the browning, it's probably severe drought stress. So if an anthurium is very dry, what the plant will often do as a defense against the drought stress is it will almost kind of pull back resources, to its core. And that's why you'll often then see the older leaves start to fall off. And in the case of the flowers, like the flowers will start to go, because flowers actually take quite a bit of energy from a plant. And when a plant goes into a type of survival mode, it will often first throw off its flowers. You also sometimes see this with fruit trees, where if there's a drought and they are setting their fruit, they'll often just sort of throw all their unripened fruit off. And it's a way for the plant to protect itself. So in the case of anthuriums, when we see that immediate browning, and it's like partnered with your plant being very dry, it could be a case of your plant is trying to conserve its resources and its energy. If the drying goes on for a prolonged period, you'll then also see that your plant, like the leaves will start to go. Young leaves will just die off before even opening up, and then eventually a plant will die if it does not get adequate moisture at the roots. So over-fertilization can also cause your flowers to go brown. It's similar to what happens with leaves. So I know on one of my previous anthuriums, I used those little plant fertilizer sticks on quite a small pot. And within a week, you could see like the leaf would start, like a side of it will start to go brown, and then it will just kind of go out in this ring shape until the entire leaf, turned brown and just fell off. So that's why, since that happened, I've just stopped using those sticks. With fertilizer, if you suspect that it is over-fertilization, the best thing you can do is to flush out the pot. So at a sink, you can just open the tap and let the water flow through the potting media, coming out the drainage holes. And if you do that periodically over a period of time, it should flush out the majority of the excess fertilizer that is causing the problem. So the last thing on this list is, of course, sunburn. So if you take a plant and you place it in direct sunlight, you'll often see like the light burn on it. It can also affect the flowers. And if you suspect it is light burn, like the first clue will be that your plant is standing in direct sunlight. Also, light burn will often come from above, so it means that the top parts of the spathe or the leaves are likely to be affected first. So if you see that your plant is in direct sunlight or was in direct sunlight, often sometimes if I'm busy cleaning up in the house, I'll move my plants around and then without thinking, I'll place it in a spot with direct sunlight and clean and not think about the plant standard, and then I'll move it back. But sometimes just being in that direct sunlight for half an hour to an hour is enough to do some serious cell damage to your plant if the plant is not acclimated to direct sunlight. So that's just something to watch out for, because sometimes it will only pop up later. You'll see that the edges start to go and get brown. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. In the next video, I am going to look at how to repot a Anthurium. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the future videos in this series. I will see you in the next video. Bye.